Yeah, dear learners, today we are going to talk about degrees of comparison. So, before going to degrees of comparison, we have to understand what an adjective is all about. Only when we understand what's an adjective, then only we'll be able to understand the need of an adjective and why and how an adjective is used in a sentence. If you just look at the definition of an adjective is a word which describes a noun or a pronoun. I mean, it gives some more information about the noun. So when you say that, you are just talking about somebody, maybe your best friend, maybe a favorite person, maybe a politician, maybe a leader you like, you are talking about him. Suppose while you are talking about your best friend, when you are asked to describe, perhaps you say, he is, you know, very nice man. So the word nice is an adjective here. He is a hardworking man. He is sincere. He is honest. He is very industrious. He is very, uh, very, very hardworking. And so these are the words like courageous, hardworking, uh, you know, these are the words which you are using here in order to describe the qualities present in a person. So, an adjective, the duty of an adjective is always to describe the qualities, not only the qualities, it describes about, or I can say it describes the noun or a pronoun. Like, for example, if you see, an adjective, that's why, if you just closely observe, usually, an adjective precedes a noun or a pronoun. For example, an interesting novel. If you see an interesting novel, novel is noun and interesting is adjective. Similarly, a hardworking girl. Girl is noun, hardworking is adjective. Drinking water. So what kind of water it is? It's a water which could be used for drinking purpose. That's why it is called drinking water. Swimming costume. Confused audience. What kind of audience are they? They're all confused. What is their state now? They are in a confused state. So an adjective gives some more information about a noun or pronoun. It describes. So now, while we attempt to understand adjective and what is its role in a sentence, we should also try to understand how many types of adjectives are there. There are different types of adjectives because the very purpose of an adjective is to describe, right? Then it describes in terms of quality, like just now I told you, sincere, honest, punctual, hardworking, industrious, courageous. Okay, and all these words are describing the qualities present in a person. So whenever you are describing the qualities present in a person, or in a, I mean, suppose you are talking about an incident, you are talking about an event, you are describing a wedding that you have attended, or an event that you have attended, or you are trying to describe a novel that you have read recently. You say that it's a fabulous, it's a marvelous, it's an interesting, it's an inspirational, it is very motivating kind of novel. So the words which you are using here, kind of interesting novel, so you are using the word interesting in order to describe uh, the novel. So that is an adjective. So there are different kinds or different types of adjectives we have. Qualitative adjectives always try to describe the qualities present in a person. Similarly, we have quantitative. Quantity means it is something that is going to talk about the quantity. Say, for example, some, little, few, a lot. Say, for example, there was little rice left for him to eat. There was, I mean, I had very little time left for me. Okay, still there was some time for him to attend the seminar. So some, little, a lot of. These are the words which describe the quantity. They're describing the quantity. So similarly, adjectives of color, all the colors like VGR. What do you mean by VGR? Like, violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red, white, or any other color that is not covered here. So whenever you talk about, like, how do we identify a color as an adjective? Say, for example, when somebody says that I bought a car, when he says that I bought a car, there is actually no description at all here. So he's simply giving an information that he bought a car. When he says that I bought a white car, now we are able to understand that by adding this color to the car, we are able to understand the description of the car, that it is white in color. Suppose you lost your bike, then when you go to lodge a complaint, they will ask you what is the color of your bike. Blue color, red color, green color, or purple color. When you talk about the color, it describes. So all the colors are useful for the description. And similarly, adjectives of number, all the ordinal numbers and cardinal numbers, both 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 1,000 and all. And similarly, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. He got first prize. So first is adjective, prize is noun. Okay, there are 4 students in the class. 4 is adjective, students is noun. There are 4 students. So 4 is the number which describes the number of the students. That's why it is also treated as an adjective. Similarly, we have adjectives of size and shape. Like sizes, different sizes. We have rectangular, large, small, round, okay, circular, okay, different shapes and different sizes. For them also we use adjective. And then adjectives are used to describe the mood of a person also. Suppose, when you want to meet your boss, you will try to take the feedback in which mood he is. Suppose somebody says that he is in good mood. For example, he is in jubilant mood. Okay, he is happy. Okay, he's cheerful, he's in a very good state of mind, then you feel like meeting him. When he is depressed, when he is angry, when he is depressed or disappointed, when he is worried, naturally you don't feel like meeting people at that point of time. So how are you? I say that I'm slightly depressed. So disappointed, depressed, angry, worried, cheerful, jubilant, these are all the state of mind. They describe the mood of a person. So they're also used as adjectives. Then, we have actually adjectives formed with the help of ing form, ing. For example, let us take the words, you can just take the word. For example, let me just tell you, you can take the word drinking water. When you say drinking water, swimming costume, okay, when you say swimming costume, you are trying to say that this is the costume which is used for swimming purpose. Similarly, drinking water, water is noun, and drinking is adjective. Some people say that drinking is verb. It may be used as verb in a different context. When I say I'm drinking water, then it is used as a verb to refer to the action. What action am I doing? I'm drinking water, then it is verb. But if I say I have used drinking water, when I say I have used, what kind of water I have used? Drinking water. So the water which is used for the purpose of drinking, then it is treated as, I can say adjective. So adjectives are formed, I can say, with the help of ing forms also. Similarly, you can also see adjectives are formed with ed forms. Say, for example, if you just see with ed, like worried man. When you say worried man, so here worried could be V3 form, but here it is used as an adjective. So there is just like V4 form, ing form we have seen. It is used as a verb in continuous tense, okay, in a different context. Simultaneously, it is used as an adjective. We have seen that already. Similarly, even this ed form also used as a v3 form, that is past participle, used as a verb. Like for example, I have seen. For example, I have seen. When you say seen, yes, double e and seen is v3 form. Okay, so but this also, the same v3 could be used as adjective. For example, worried man, depressed soul. So soul is noun, depressed is adjective. So worried is adjective, man is noun. Similarly, you have the last one is compound adjectives. Compound adjectives means they are formed with two words. One may be noun, the other may be adjective, or sometimes noun and noun. For example, shortcut. Shortcut, we say. This is compound adjective. Absent minded, absent and minded, absent minded. So these are all the adjectives I can say. Say for example, now let's go to another one. Yeah. So these are different types of adjectives that we have discussed till now. Now, what is the purpose of discussing, adjective here? Only when we understand what is an adjective, then only we can understand degrees of comparison. What exactly you mean by degrees of comparison? If you just get to know, you will understand. Say, for example, when you describe somebody, fine. It only gives some details about that person. But if you want to describe that person in terms of comparison in order to increase the degree of it, then it is called degrees of comparison. Say for example, sometimes you say he is good, but if you say he is good, you may not be happy with that. You want to say he is very good, then you say there also you're not happy, then you will go for another word, he is very good. So he is good, he is very good, he is very good, he is very, you should not use too many veries. Only one very or second very you can use. Is very good, very good, that's it. You can't use more than two times. But how many times you can say is very good? You can say is so good. Sometimes you stretch it so much and say that is so good, but how far it is right? So in such case, what we do is that we go for degrees of comparison. So degrees of comparison is a kind of usage which helps us describe something in terms of comparison. Like what exactly you mean by comparison? Say for example, when you say somebody is good, okay, you want to say somebody is good, then already you take somebody who is already identified as good, okay, then you try to compare these two people. He is good, but he is better than that person. When you say he is good, both are good. But who is really more good than the other? You want to say, then you will use another word, better. He is better than my friend. She is more intelligent than her sister. Okay, he is more hardworking than his family or than his sister. So when you are giving this word, you try to understand. Say for example, you say that Shakespeare is a great writer. Then you say that Shakespeare is greater than any other writer. Then you are trying to say that Shakespeare is the most or the greatest writer. So that is the beauty that you can really use in this degrees of comparison. So in the degrees of comparison, we have three types of comparisons we have, namely positive degree, comparative degree, superlative degree. What exactly you mean by positive degree, comparative degree, superlative degree? We have actually adjectives and also adverbs. Adverbs are also used for comparisons. Okay, so when you use them, what is a positive degree? Positive degree is only a mere description of a person or a thing that you are talking about. A comparative degree is the one which is used for describing two, between two things or two groups, two people, or anything between two. Okay, so whenever you are talking about two sets or two groups or two people or anything between two, that is called comparative degree. And superlative degree comes when you have more than two things. Okay, say for example, if you just take students in the class, naturally you will identify one person. If you just ask how many of you are tall, there'll be around some 4 to 5 students who are tall in the class. But definitely you will be able to identify one being taller than these four. Then you say the one who is taller than these four also is said to be the tallest of the class, because there is no other boy or girl in the class who is taller than this boy. That's why we say that he is the tallest. Okay, and when you take two boys or two girls between them and say who is taller than the other, you can say A is taller than B and B is not as tall as A. That's how you can use, positive degree, comparative degree, and superlative degree. So, well, before going for a positive degree, comparative degree, and superlative degree, first we have to understand the formation of degrees of comparison. What is the purpose of degrees of comparison? The very purpose is to increase the degree of comparison, to increase the degree of description. You have already described by using the word good, but you are not happy. You want to increase some more. That's why you are using the word better. And you want to increase some more. You are going for the word the best. So good, better, the best. Deep, deeper, deepest. Small, smaller, smallest. So how to make, well, before going for this, we have to understand a term called syllable. What do you mean by a syllable? Syllable is actually a unit of sound in a word. So word is split into different sounds. That's why, very often we find them being demarcated with a hyphen. So there it ends with a vowel sound. So a word has different units of sounds. Okay, different units of sounds. And what is the criteria for this? The criteria is each unit of sound ends with a vowel sound. Each unit of sound ends with a vowel sound. So such a unit is known as a syllable. For example, let us take the word tall. When you say ta, it ends with a. And after that, you are able to find l. L is half letter, which is not considered as full letter. That's why we don't take that into consideration at all. So ta, it has got only one syllable. Okay. Let us take the word teacher. Teacher. T1E. Ch, two. So a word teacher has got two syllables. Let us take deep. D, only one syllable. So a word which has got one syllable is known as monosyllabic. A word which has got two syllables has got disyllabic. A word means adjective or adverb or any word, which has got more than two, that is three syllables, trisyllabic. Okay, which has got four syllables, quadrasyllabic, and more than four, we call it polysyllabic. Like for monosyllabic, you can see the word sma, big, tall, high, low. These are all words which have got only one syllable. A word which has got two syllables, like teacher, hand, handsome, ha, one, sir, another. Ha, sir, two syllables. Handsome, two syllables. Beautiful, beau, one. Tea, two. Foo, oo. So there are three syllables. So that's why it is called trisyllabic. Let us take one example for polysyllabic. For example, accommodate. A, ka, ma, day. So how many syllables are there? Four syllables are there. If you look at the word accommodate, it has got more than three syllables. That's why we call it polysyllabic. That's how, a word will have different syllables. We have to identify different, syllables. Then only we can understand the importance. So that is very important for us to understand how many syllables are there in a particular, word. That helps us to, that helps us pronounce better. That helps us write the spelling in a correct way. That helps us to identify the proper degrees of comparison. So what is the rule? The rule says that, simple. Whenever an adjective has got one or two syllables, of course, coming to two syllables or disyllabic word, there are certain exceptions. I'll talk about them later. As of now, you just keep that in mind. A word or an adjective which has got one or two syllables will take er or est in their comparative and superlative forms. For example, deep, only one syllable it has. That's why deeper, deepest. Positive deep, comparative deeper, superlative deepest. Small, one, smaller, smallest. Okay. If you let us look at the word common. Ka, one syllable. Another syllable. There are two syllables. So common is a disyllabic word. Common, commoner, commonest. Similarly, pretty, pretty, prettier, prettiest. So an adjective that ends with one or two syllables, or that has got one or two syllables, will take er, est in their comparative and superlative forms. So I told you that I would talk about the exception later. So what is that exception is? A disyllabic word, a word which has got two syllables, if it ends with y or er or ow or le, such kind of adjectives only will take er, est. All the other, adjectives with two syllables also will fall into the different category. So it is a controversy. So that's why you can, of course, remember this way. A word which has got one or two syllables will take er, est mostly, and a word or an adjective which has got more than two syllables will take more and the most. Say, for example, the word like, let us take difficult, D, Fi, K. How many syllables are there? Three syllables are there. Handsome, only two syllables are there. I told you the rule. Handsome, though it has got two syllables, but it take, more handsome and the most handsome. Of course, some grammarians argue that it is handsomer and handsomest, but most often it is used as more handsome and the most handsome only. So though I have given this as handsomer and handsomest, you better use this as more handsome and the most handsome, because it will lead to controversy and confusion. Okay, now let us come to degrees of comparison. First, let us understand what is a positive degree. What is the purpose of a positive degree? Why it is titled as positive degree? Positive degree, will not actually involve itself in any kind of comparison. It is a mere description of a person or a thing that it is talking about. So a mere existence of some quality in a person or in a thing that you are talking about. So that's why there is no comparison used in positive degree at all. That's why it is called a positive degree. And you can just see one example. When the mere quality of a noun is said, the adjective is said to be in the positive degree. That's the definition you can remember. Only you are describing the quality of a noun, maybe a person or a thing. For example, you say Meghana is a hard-working girl. When you say Meghana is a hard-working girl, you are trying to say that, you are simply trying to say that, Meghana is hard-working. So you are not trying to compare here at all. You are not comparing Meghana with any other person. You are simply describing the quality present in Meghana. saying that Meghana is a hard-working girl. So a positive degree merely talks about the quality present in a person, maybe in a noun or a pronoun. So that's why such a thing is known as, I can say, a positive degree. Then let us go to a comparative degree. What do you mean by a comparative degree? In a comparative degree, you can understand a comparative degree will try to actually describe. I mean, it describes, of course, every adjective basically primarily describes, but in addition to the description it also compares. So a comparative degree tries to compare between two nouns or two pronouns, maybe two nouns or nouns in the sense, persons, places, things, animals, items, or whatever. So a comparative degree is restricted to only two things. So here, the same quality, the adjective is said to be in the comparative degree when an adjective is in comparison in between two nouns of this way, same quality. You are talking about the quality present in two different nouns, but you are trying to describe. You say that she is hardworking, he is also hardworking. But between them, who is more hardworking? So Rakesh is more hardworking than Susmita. Then both of them are undoubtedly hardworking. But though both of them are hardworking, between them who is more hardworking, that is called a comparative degree. So a comparative degree helps us describe the quality present in people to nouns. In addition to that, a comparison helps us understand who has got a better quality between them. Okay, for example, you can see the sentence here: India is more powerful than Pakistan. So here we understand that India is powerful, Pakistan is powerful. Undoubtedly today both of them have got nuclear weapons, and both of them are equally technologically advanced and all that. But when it comes to terms who is more powerful, India, we assume India to be more powerful than Pakistan. If you ask Pakistan people, they say that Pakistan is more powerful than India. We just can't say. So Srujit is taller than her sister. So here her sister is also tall, Srujit is also tall, but when the comparison takes place, Srujit is slightly taller than his sister. When you say than his sister, are you trying to say that his sister is not tall at all? No, undoubtedly she is also tall. But when compared to Srujit, she is not that tall. Okay, so that is a comparative degree. Now let us go to a superlative degree. A superlative degree comes when you have more than two things, more than two nouns when what you are talking about. So here in a, say for example, in a superlative degree, you have things more than two present, maybe more than two groups, two countries, two people, two items, or two subjects, or anything. Say for example, you are talking about English. English is the most interesting language. English is one of the most difficult languages for some people, one of the most difficult subjects. Okay, so you are saying that out of all that you are going to take, say for example you are going to take the students of a class, then you identify somebody as the intelligent boy. Of course there may be some other intelligent students, but who is ultimately more intelligent than everyone in the class, then you say he is the most intelligent boy of the class. She is the tallest girl of the class. When you say she is the tallest girl of the class, you are trying to say that there is no one who is taller than this girl in the class. Then only you can say, you can use superlative degree when something is supreme, when something is final, then only you can use superlative degree. For example, this is the best solution. When you say, whenever you use superlative degree, there can't be anything better than that. Then only you must use, this is the best solution. Means there can't be anything better than this. This is one of the worst accidents. There could be, I mean, this could be the worst accident that has ever happened. There can't be any more or any other, worse than this. In that case only, we are going to use, superlative degree. That's how we are going to use positive, comparative, and superlative degrees. So you have to keep one grammar point here, very important to keep in mind. Whenever you are using superlative degree, you have to use article the before that. The best, the worst, the biggest, the deepest, the smallest, the most beautiful, the most difficult, the most interesting. So that is very, very important for us to remember. Now, while talking about these degrees of comparison, I told you the rules of the syllables and all that. An adjective which has got one or two syllables will take EREST, and which has got more than two syllables will take more and the most, that we have seen. But there are certain irregular comparatives. They don't take the either, EREST or more at the most, because they are quite irregular. Say for example, good, better, best, bad, worse, worst, okay, little, less, least, far, farther, farthest, far, further, furthest. It has got two. Furthest, further, it is used for additional extent. Far, used for distance. Farther, this city is farther than that. That city is the farthest of the state. Okay. Many, more, most, much, more, most. Late. Late has two forms: later, latest, and last. Latest is very recent, last is in the order. That is the last book that he has written. This is the latest book that he has written. Last book, after that, there is no book. Latest book, recent book, just now he has written in the recent times. Similarly, old, older, oldest. Older, oldest for, I mean, people who are more in age. But elder and eldest we use for our own blood relatives. Elder brother, eldest brother. Older, oldest. He is older than I am. He is the oldest of all. He is the oldest person in our colony. He is my eldest brother. So for blood relatives, eldest. For others, oldest we use. Okay. Now, the very important item is interchange of the degrees of comparison. Interchange means transformation, one into the other, how to convert them from positive to comparative, comparative to superlative are very important to understand, because they will help us to have multiple expressions. Instead of saying only one expression, you can have different expressions through comparative degree, superlative degree. So instead of saying only one expression in positive, you can say it in comparative, you can say it in superlative. Like that, there are many sentences possible for us. So here in the interchange, you will understand different types of sentences we have. Well, before going for that, let us just take different models. I'll come to this later. First, let us go to how to change a positive degree into comparative degree, in which, first I want to show you one, this model. Though it is known as model 3, but actually it is model 1, in which, if you just see, Sheila is clever than Leela. It means that how many people are present here? Only two people are there. Who are they? Sheila and Leela. So we have understood just now, the moment we talk about only two people, we understand that there can't be superlative degree. So from this we understand there is only possibility for positive degree. Already it is in comparative. How do you say that it is in comparative? Because ER form, clever is positive, cleverer is one hint for us. After that, than is there. That is another hint for us to understand. So Sheila is cleverer than Leela. So there are two people, Sheila and Leela. Fine. And cleverer is the comparative form. Than is also the word that is used, to join these two. So that's why you can just see how we say change this into positive. Sheila is cleverer than Leela. First, try to understand this sentence closely. When you say Sheila is cleverer than Leela, are you trying to say that Leela is not clever at all? No. Leela could be clever. Leela may be clever. We're not denying that. But when compared to Sheila, she is not that clever. That's why Leela is not. We say that Leela is not as clever as Sheila. So only when compared to Sheila, Leela is not that clever. That's it. But independently, Leela could be clever. So Sheila is clever, Leela is clever. Only when compared between Sheila and Leela, Leela is not as clever as Sheila. Try to understand, whenever we are using positive degree, we use as, or so as, or so as. You can say Leela is not as clever as Sheila, or Leela is not so clever as Sheila. Okay, now let us see one more sentence. Mysore is more beautiful than Bangalore. Then Bangalore is not as beautiful as Mysore. So when you have a comparative degree, you change that into positive degree. When you say, Sheila is cleverer than Leela, these you try to say that these two are not equal in comparison. That's why it is called unequal comparison. We can see equal comparison also. Suppose you said Sheila is as clever as Leela. It means that you are trying to say both of them are the same. You can't really say who is more clever than the other, who is cleverer than the other. You can't say. In that case, you will say Sheila is as clever as Leela. You can't really say who is cleverer than the other. So when you say both of them are same, Sheila is as clever as Leela. When you say Sheila is cleverer than Leela, you are trying to say that Sheila is cleverer. For that, the positive form is Leela is not as clever as Sheila. Understand? So that's how, we try to change this form into positive. And now let us just see the model 1. Model 1, here I'm trying to say you one sentence. You can just see and understand. The moment I say Kashmir is the most beautiful place in India, the moment I have used the word the most beautiful, it should strike you in mind that I have used article the and I have used most. The moment I have used these two words, it is superlative degree. So you can use superlative degree only when you say that something is, better than any other that you are talking about. So now you are saying Kashmir is the most beautiful place in India. You are trying to say that there can't be any place more beautiful than Kashmir. Okay, so Kashmir is the most beautiful place in India is superlative degree. Now, while changing that into comparative form, we begin with Kashmir only. Kashmir is more beautiful. Trying to see how we are changing. Kashmir is more beautiful than any other. So just remember, we are using the word any other, than any other we are using. So in the comparative form, you will use than any other or than all other, any other or all other. So Kashmir is more beautiful than any other place, than all other places in India. If you use all other places, if you use any other place in India. Kashmir is the most beautiful place in India. Kashmir is more beautiful than any other place in India. So we use any other in comparative, and we use in the superlative, we will use the most. Okay. And in the positive, we always begin with no other. So no other place. So the moment you say no other, already you have used negative form. No other place is so beautiful as Kashmir in India, or no other place in India is so beautiful as Kashmir. So no other in the positive, any other in the comparative, superlative, the most, the best, the highest, you can say highest of all, okay, the best of all, like that you can say. One example you can see, the USA is stronger than any other nation in the world. So this is in comparative form. The positive form for this is that no other nation in the world is so strong as the USA. The USA is the strongest nation in the world. So the USA is the strongest nation in the world. USA is stronger than any other nation in the world. No other nation in the world is so strong as the USA. You can just see, you will use no other in the positive, any other in the comparative, and in the superlative, you will be using the most. And now let us go to one more model, that is the lost model, in which, here you see, for example, just now you said Kashmir is the most beautiful place in India. The moment you said that Kashmir is the most beautiful place, you didn't have any doubts about, or you didn't have any place in mind that could be better than Kashmir at all. Okay, that's why you said Kashmir is the most beautiful. Now you are saying that Kashmir is one of the most beautiful places in India. So now when you say one of the most beautiful places, you are trying to say that there could be one or two, okay, who are as beautiful as Kashmir. That's why Kashmir could not become the most beautiful place in India. So when you said Kashmir is the most beautiful place, you said according to you, there is no other place more beautiful than Kashmir. Now in this sentence, you are saying Kashmir is one of the most beautiful places. You say that there are some other. That's why you begin the sentence in the positive form as very few, almost nil. Very few places in India are as beautiful as Kashmir. Very few, you are saying that maybe one or two. That's why you are starting the sentence with very few places in India are as beautiful as Kashmir. And same in the comparative form, you can say that Kashmir is more beautiful than many other places, than most other places. So many other, most other in the comparative form, very few in the positive form, and in the superlative, one of the. So India is one of the greatest countries in the world. India is not the greatest country. India is one of the greatest countries. Then you say India is greater than most other countries, than many other countries, but not all other countries. You can't say all other countries. If you say all other countries, different. I'm sorry. I think in model 2, I said than any other and than most other. No, than all other. Any other and all other. Okay. Here, most other and many other. For example, India is one of the greatest countries in the world. You can say India is greater than many other countries or most other countries in the world. Positive, very few countries are as great as India. So that's how you can convert positive to comparative, comparative to superlative, superlative to positive. You can use multiple ways to describe your ideas. With the help of adjectives, primarily description, and also in order to increase the description, you will take the help of positive degree, comparative degree, and superlative degree is the highest form of comparison. Okay, that is called superlative degree. That's all for today. That is degrees of comparison. Thank you so much.